Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live. In this episode, I want to talk about a virtual character using VROID app. This is an update to my previous video in the past about a VROID app. So VROID app is an app here from Japan. I think it's developed by Japanese developer and maybe some other developers. Basically, the app allows you to create anime-style characters, whether it's male, female, child, or teenagers. And it's available for Windows, Apple, or via Steam. So this kind of character you can create, and so you first download the app, and then in order to import it into Blender, into something that you can export out as AR, there's a bit of process, but it's actually pretty simple. You can see here in Blender, this is the final result. The character is pretty clean. All the materials has been baked into a simple PBR material. Actually, it's just using the emission with the base color turned off. And you can see this is the texture atlas that's baking the whole material. So if your character wants to be exported into AR or for a game engine, it needs to be really efficient. And in this case, the character only have a single material. Originally, it has multiple materials with multiple textures, and now it's baked into a single atlas material. So it's pretty clean. So the character, let me turn on the bone. So the bones is also automatically converted from VROID into something that's Blender can understand. So I just pose the character in a crane pose, but I can reset it using Option G and Option R. Okay, so this is the default pose of the character. Probably something that you can export to mixamo, and with mixamo you're gonna get different bones. Normally the character from VROID has like bones that's for the t-shirt or maybe for the chest area. Some character have shirt, etc. But let's take a look how the whole process. Okay, VROID Studio I already downloaded, so I have it here under applications. So my computer might be a bit slow while running the whole things. Okay, so VROID Studio, by default you have selection of character to choose. Let's try, oh, this elephant one, it's pretty cool. This one have shirt, however, might be a little bit complicated later on. But yeah, why not? Let's try this. Language is English, used to be just like in Japanese. Okay, cool. It has some shirt simulations. You have a lot of controls to customize your character. Eyes, etc., eye shapes. Maybe I don't need to go through all of this. In my case, I just want to maybe just give an expressions. It's a smiling eyebrow. So eyebrow, eyes, mouth. You just need to try this yourself. So I just make the character smiling, and then okay, we can even control the texture. I haven't really looked at it, this app. It says a lot of controls. So basically you want to export this character. You can even use this for 3D printing. So let's just export it. Okay, I need to give it a name. Anna, author, sushi. Okay, the rest of them, don't worry, just hit OK. This is the preset character anyway. Let's call this, okay, it's called Shibu. The format of this type of file is VRM. Exporting. Okay, done. I'm gonna close this quick, and Okay, first of all, we're gonna need a couple of add-on. The one that's really do the job is the CATS Blender plugin. Okay, this is, you need to have it as a zip and then you install it into Blender. You also will be needing the VRM add-on and material combiner add-on, but that's gonna be explained by CATS add-on if you ever need it. Okay, so I already have it installed. This is Blender 2.92, by the way. 2.93 might not handle the add-on 100%, but for I/O import export, use the Blender 2.92. This is the CATS add-on already installed, CATS Blender plugin. And if that's installed properly, you're gonna have this. This is CATS add-on tab panel, and you can import model from here. This is for VRM. Let's hopefully everything works correctly. Okay, we have previous model. That's Shibu. The girl character, I think, will have like shirt bones. So we have this character. The bones seems pretty clean. Although, yeah, we also have all these locators, and we need to clean up those with this fixed model. So I'm just gonna talk about the process. It's all the patrons, and I think a lot of developers also work on this add-on. So after I hit fix model, which is actually basically, it fixes a lot of things like join the mesh, connect the bones, remove zero, etc. We have a clean character with the bones that we can animate. So let's save this very quickly. Okay, what's her name? Just call it VROID Anna. So, okay, we don't have collider, we have body, we have pose. Okay, maybe it has some pose library, I don't know, I haven't checked it. But the bones, if you ever want to pose it, let's just pose this character a little bit. Oh, okay, yeah. Unfortunately for this character, the skinning is not 100% correct. The one I have earlier actually works a little bit better. But you will see that this character have a lot of materials, and I think the weighting is, yeah, I think the weighting is a bit dodgy, or unfortunately for this character. Normally I can just pose the character. Maybe we can just reskin this, because this is just a single body. Automatic weight. Oh, okay, it fails. Well, anyway, the next thing you want to do, if you want to export this as AR, is to bake. And how to use, if you click here, I think it's gonna take you to the tutorial. So you can actually bring it into Unity, which is, yeah, pretty cool. I haven't used Unity much, but maybe I should. I think it works pretty well for anime character like this, compared to Unreal, which usually is more realistic with realistic character like MetaHuman. Anime stylistic character works with Unity. I think it's they both can do like stylized or realistic character, but it really depends on what you're doing. Okay, for AR, copy and bake slow. Okay, let's save this anyway, and then click on copy and bake with all the defaults options. I think character like this has been used in Quest also, and this is for VR. This is resolution for the texture. It's gonna bake all the texture and materials, simplify everything into a single material with a single texture. I think there's also some options here under optimization. You can selectively select which material you want to combine into a single atlas, and this takes a while. So okay, cool. Now it's done, and hopefully everything works correctly. This is the bake. Oh, this is the bake version, or I'm afraid it might actually fail. Supposedly it's baking the characters into a single material. So I can delete one of them. Yeah, I think this is the original actually. This is the new one. Cat's bake, okay. But this still have all the material, which is pretty wrong. Optimizations. Generate material list. Maybe I should have done this beforehand. Convert texture to PNG. Combine the same material. Okay. Right. I think let's do this again. Copy and bake. Slow. Once it's done, actually, let's open up Blender 2.93. This one's still baking. Stylized character like this seems simple. I mean, but sometimes the things with the hair, I mean, with the clothes also, they need to be simulated. If you want to make the character dancing or doing some animations, and if you want to animate, okay, it's doing it again. It doesn't bake it properly somehow. It works with the other character. So anyway, let's switch to Blender 2.93. File, open. I get the other character. Yeah, the boy. This one also, I think, maybe the baking is not 100% perfect. Oh, okay. It has some highlight. So for this character with the bones like this, you can also use an add-on like Rigify to rig the character, so you can kind of animate the character manually. Otherwise, you can just send this to Mixamo. If you want to do that, I think you can just get rid of the armature. Just like this in this pose, you can export it into FBX. File, export, FBX into Mixamo. And maybe I should actually do that. Okay, this one, somehow it doesn't bake properly, unfortunately. Oh, it says there's one here, cat's bake. Maybe it doesn't. Yeah, it's supposed to be working. Yeah, not sure why. It's trying to bake the normal as well. It's all just becoming black with the diffuse. Maybe it should be just the diffuse and the emission. I shouldn't bake the normal. I should just bake the diffuse and emit. Okay, I'm curious. Oh well. So back with this guy, if I use mixamo to animate it, this one has the texture already baked properly, so you can export it into game engine or export it as GLB, and then you can convert it into the iPhone. I'll show you. So reality converter is something that's on a Mac only, and this is okay. You have character atlas of the girl. Okay, this is the girl's proper texture. Actually, that's interesting. This is the boy's character. Did I just drop it there? You might notice that it's pretty shiny, the material, because the character is anime stylized character. You probably don't want to have this shininess. So this is the boy and the girl character. Somehow it's saving it into the same folder. Okay, I know why it's. I think I have the characters kind of overlapping the materials. Oh well. Supposedly, anyway, you put a black texture on the base and on the metallic, so the character is not shiny, and it's become like a proper USDZ that you can export into iPhone. All right. So this character now is already have a proper atlas. So I think this is also good to go. I don't need to bake it. File, export, GLB. This is Blender 2.93. I don't need, I think I don't, yeah, this one will ask me for email address, etc. for now. Let's try again. This is atlas of the girl character. Okay. Yeah, this one has proper texture actually, with opacity as well, which is pretty good. You just need to turn off the metallic. However, the character is correct. Or maybe it needs to be double-sided. But yeah, normally the base color, you need to put it under emissive, and the base color is turned off. It needs to be black color. So yeah, that's basically the process of baking it properly, but there are a lot of things to consider, like the character armature bones. So if you want to animate it manually, you need to have Readify, and that part I haven't explained it properly, but the baking is done. So yeah, this character now have a wrong texture. Oh well, I need to bake it again. This is Blender 2.93. This is okay. This is after I bake it. This is before I bake it, I believe. So supposedly, I saved the atlas into a folder. Atlas boy, create atlas. This is how it's supposed to work. Okay, it's a bit weird before with the other girl, the girl character. Okay, now this is done. Somehow I don't need to do this baking, which is weird. Material is already baked into the character, so now the texture looks correct. File, save. If I do this anyway, copy and bake, I should be able to see another texture here. Oh, I know, the bake script must have done the whole process of, it's automating the process. But all we need is actually the atlas, saving it as an atlas, so it's become a single material. It's kind of like a flatten the hierarchy of materials and textures. So when this is done, we're gonna have a character with the proper emission material, maybe even the normal material. But anyway, yeah, from VROID app into Blender into something that you can use into game engine. This is basically the process. Ah, look, it's doing it again. I remember it was working properly before for me. Somehow it's failing now. I think this is actually for the boy character, but also overlapping with the girl character. How weird. How weird. Delete hierarchy. Select this original. This is the baked versions. File. Export. GLB. Let's see what's going on here. I think it's probably using the girl's character opacity. Okay, yeah, that's weird. But I mean, the atlas was working correctly, so I don't know what's going on with the bake before, but I used it before and it was working. I think it's overlapping two material, which is maybe that's why. I did the atlas and then I did the bake, so it's like doing it twice. But anyway, that's the whole process. Hopefully you find this useful. Sorry about the weird things that's happening. Yeah, you can give this a try. That's the whole process, and in the future I will try to manually animate this character. Oh yeah, so thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.